Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the Cappies in late July? We are in Leo season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies. Please, let's get this card going. What's the vibe? What's the energy here? Nice and quick. I'll take it. Okay, growing up, this is a big card of maturation, and it doesn't literally mean like our age or our journey in regarding time. This could be any situation that could be taking a turn, or it looks different. Like there's some maturation or progress that could be really good when I see this card. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. And I always say with these oracles, I like to take a more intuitive approach to it. We see Alice, she's sitting there with that grumpy looking kitty cat. And growing up, yeah, sure, it could speak about aging, right? Or just the progress that we make through time. So for some of you, maybe you're on some sort of journey, right? I mean, we all are technically, but this could be a journey of importance. So whether it's like inner work you've been doing, whether it's a career journey of some sort, when I see this card, it's like, all right, things are starting to mature, things are starting to look different. So don't be surprised if various situations in the short-term future start taking a different shade, a different color. They start looking and feeling a bit different. Now, to me, this doesn't represent like a loss or something being trimmed back. To me, it's just like, all right, well, it's shifting in a really big way. So we're going to see what's up. Let's put this down right here. I don't feel like we need to go too intense into it. I mean, sometimes growth could be uncomfortable. That's the only downside I could see to this. So for some of you, if you're in a pressure position or if you're feeling pressurized, it could be because of some growth. But we're just going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. What's happening in late July? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Here They Come, and there were a lot of people showing up in your reading last week. I could even say like a couple of weeks ago. It seems like in recent weeks, the circle around you or people you're connected to have been showing up stronger in the energy for some reason. So that might mean your focus is outward as opposed to inward. But I saw action, I saw movement, I saw energies coming in. So don't be surprised if you're a little more magnetic than you usually are. And that could bleed over for a couple of weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going here. 3 cards for the Cappies. What's going on in late July, please? Let's get this first one out. Okay. Oh, there we go. Did a little kick flip. All right. So as I was speaking about outward energy, now we have the inward. Interesting. So the Hermit, it's a retracted private type of energy. So we will definitely keep track on this. So I usually like an action card in position number 1, but the Hermit seems to be standing put, like standing firm with something. Let's get a couple more here. So what do we got for the Cappies, please? Thank you. Whoa, total opposite. And this is a theme I've been picking up and seeing for a lot of the Zodiac this week, actually, where there's like big extremes of energy, where it's like push, pull, hot, cold, forward, backward. So we're going to have to see how this looks. Let's get one more. Totally different. To me, it's like pulling back like a rubber band and letting it snap. Okay, back end, beautiful. We have the Knight of Cups. So I like the elemental mixture we have going on for you this week, and the result seems to be pretty nice with that Knight of Cups. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, as I mentioned, I always like looking at the elements. And yeah, we have Judgment here, which is Plutonian, but we have Earth, which is your power element, and we have water on the back end, which is a very complementary type of energy for a Capricorn. So we have the emotional world, the inner world, and then we also have the material world with the Earth, even though this is focused inward. So for a lot of Capricorns, maybe in this time, Spirit's asking you to pull your focus inward. If it's not, if you're worried about like outside circumstances or things you can't control, Spirit could be telling you like, all right, maybe pull that focus inward for whatever reason. But it's going to be intriguing to see how this all plays out, because we do have a push-pull going on. Let's go through and build this out piece by piece. Position number one, we have the Hermit. So as I mentioned, big Virgo energy. So maybe you have Virgo placements, maybe you're connected to a Virgo. This energy, instead of going forward, it pulls itself back. It's usually very, very quiet. So intriguing that in recent weeks, I've been seeing a lot of magnetism, a lot of energy moving your way, but this energy is taking a step back. So for some Capricorns, you could be withdrawing your energy from a situation, from a person, or just taking a step back, so to speak, when the Hermit's here. There are some positives with this card. I always say the Hermit is extremely wise. It's very spiritual. So there's real treasure to be found in any sort of spiritual work in this time, whatever it might be. The Hermit is analytical. It's like, all right, let me think about this. Let me not rush. That's the one thing I like about this card. It's very solitary too, where it's like, you know, I will go on this journey myself. I will handle this. Got myself into it, I'll get myself out of it type of energy, which isn't bad, but there are some downsides to the Hermit, just like with every card. This could represent miscommunications. This could represent blockages in communication. This could be like just extremely, extremely solitary. So whether you need a little time alone, it's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's very shrouded, hidden type of energy. So whether that's you or another person, we're just going to have to see what's up. And remember, it's taking a step back. Now, moving to the center, the energy is the complete and total opposite, right? Because we have Judgment, explosive change, just moving forward very powerfully. You see the Archangel Gabriel there and people rising up out of the grave. So, of course, Judgment could sometimes represent literal judgments. So this whole, yeah, let me think about this. Let me consider this. Judgment, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of ways this energy can move, but it is not slow. It is not a weak energy whatsoever. It's doing something, it's doing it quick. There is no pumping the brakes with this type of card. So whether it is literal judgment calls, literal decisions you're making, or it's just that explosive change, shift-based type of energy that we're picking up here, we go from 0 to 100, which has been a really big theme across the zodiac this week. Sometimes judgment could be karmic in nature. It can speak about universal karmic energy. Sometimes it can represent things popping back up, things coming back around, like returns of various different things. The only challenge I see with this card is sometimes it's the universe taking the wheel, where it's like, all right, I can't really control it. The universe is going to do what the universe is going to do. And it's just a little volatile, right? It's just super intense. So we go from like this really quiet to this explosive, intense type of energy. So we will see what is happening. Now, moving to the back end, things really do start to mellow out in a very positive way, because we got our good friend here, Mr. Knight of Cups. Now, for some of you, you might be connected to a water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. If that's not the case, I always say Knights, they represent communication, and they represent taking action. This one is the perfect pace. It's not too slow like the Knight of Pentacles. It's not too fast like the Knight of Swords. It's just right. If this is a person, this could be someone that's extremely creative. This is a huge card when it comes to love, because this is like a silky smooth, Prince Charming type of energy, where it's like I could talk the bark off a tree type of energy, which, I mean, it's not bad. To me, it just feels pretty neutral and it moves along at the perfect speed. Now, the challenge with this card is it can be extremely, extremely emotional. I don't want to say it's emotionally manipulative or anything like that. It could just represent someone feeling really, really strong things. And in his reverse form, could be very similar to this Hermit, where it's withdrawing. It's not sharing information. It's not sharing emotions. And again, it could just be a talk. Nothing has to be like the be-all, end-all here. They could be minor energies as well. So we're just going to tuck him back in over here. I want to dive deeper on all this, Cappy. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Mr. Hermit. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this Hermit going. Why is this energy stepping back? Why is this energy? Oh, okay. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So for any of you going through like work, business related things, or stuff that you're working on, Eight of Pentacles really does tie closely into this. And it's like, don't bother me. I'm keeping my head down. Don't bother me. I'm in my zone. I'm in my bubble. So it is a very private type of energy. It's like I'm working on something behind the scenes. That's like the big energy I'm picking up here, because the Eight of Pentacles is a card of effort. Now, sometimes it could be fixing things. Sometimes, to me, it's more like putting in a lot of effort. So when I see it with the Hermit, it's like, all right, I need a little time to figure something out. I need a little solitary time, or it's working on something behind the scenes. I don't want to say it's a plan just yet. But yeah, with the Hermit and this, it's like, no, I'm just keeping my head down, doing my thing. I'm working towards something. So it's very diligent. I don't think this is a bad energy, but why shrouded? Why so private? Okay, no judgment here, but that's just the main energy I'm picking up. I don't feel like it's terrible. I don't feel like it's great. I feel like the real change is going to come as we move further through the reading. So we're just going to tuck this back in over here. Yeah, working on something in the shadows or behind the scenes. I don't want to make it ominous, because it doesn't necessarily feel like that. It's just like I need to stay focused. Let's keep moving. Let's go in on judgment, because if energy is going to shift anywhere, it's going to be there. So why is judgment here? And yeah, we'll see if there is any planning or strategizing happening. So talk to me about judgment for the Cappies, please. Thank you. Just a complete total turnaround here. So we have one of your power cards. Remember, it's not gender specific. We have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright under judgment. It's like, all right, well, when I'm ready to do something, I will do it. The energy, it's a slow build. So for some Capricorns, whether it's something you've been working towards for a long time, something you've been building up, to me, it's like a slow burn type of energy finally just like breaks through in some sort of way, which feels really great to me. The Queen of Pentacles, aside from being one of your power cards, is grounded. There's blessings, there's abundance here. So I love that she's showing up here, especially under judgment, because it's like, if I need to make a choice, if I need to make a decision, I'm making the right one. But for a lot of you, there could be things that have been a slow burn, that have been building up for a while, that, they do that very powerful, like explosive shift or change, because that's how it feels. It's like really quiet, very diligent, work, 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 and then boom, the energy just kicks over, where there's like that breakthrough or explosive change. So I like it for the most part. And just like we said earlier in the reading itself, sometimes change could be a little uncomfortable, especially when the energy goes from this to that. But we're going to see what the Knight of Cups has to say. I'm initially feeling pretty good about this. So let's get her tucked right back in here, and we're going to move on to the Knight of Cups. So why is our good pal there right on the back end? Why is the Knight of Cups here, please? Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So talk to me about the Knight of Cups. Cool. Better than expected. So we have the Two of Wands in reverse. Now, I always like to say that in life, it's really difficult to plan for every situation, every eventuality. We could try. We could try to look forward and see how things might shake out, how we need to plan. It's always good to play it safe sometimes. But when I see the Two of Wands in reverse, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's let's wing it type of energy, but it's more so in a flow state where it's like not trying to control something. It's happy to go on the ride, which feels good to me. So I do feel a really good positive energy here, where it's like something might not go the way you expect, but it could be better in the end. That's just how it feels to me, especially like if you're hitting this flow state or some sort of acceptance. So the Two of Wands, when it does show up in the upright, as I already mentioned, very strategic, very plan-based. It is a card of decisions and choices. So when we see it here, it's like, maybe I should do this and do that, like step by step by step. Nothing wrong with that. But when it's in reverse, it's very unplanned. So when I see it here under the Knight of Cups, this is like an unexpected result in a positive way. So whatever this energy is shifting in the middle, even if it's a little uncomfortable, even if you're experiencing changes within yourself, or even if there's a person you're connected to that's going through big change or metamorphosis, when at the end of the day, the energy goes where it needs to go and it's like better off for some reason. So I love this unplanned energy, and it is just going along with the flow. It's like, let me just go along for the ride. So I feel like it's a really nice energy, and there is some sort of acceptance there too. So I like it. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. So I'd say overall, aside from this like really powerful energy in the center, we're looking pretty good this week compared to some other zodiac signs. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we're starting with the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles in the upright. Yeah, just very private, solitude type of energy. Like I'm just putting my head down and I'm working towards something. Um, don't bother me. It's like somebody working in a lab or like working in solitude. There could also be something either you or somebody else is like building up behind the scenes, or it's like a very slow burn or a slow build, which I think is good because there is a breakthrough moment as we get to the Judgment card and the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So something could come to a head. To me, it's more of like an explosive shift in energy or an explosive change. It feels really great here, aside from the potential intensity that could be uncomfortable. Moving to the back end, we have the Knight of Cups with the Two of Wands in reverse, where it's like, all right, don't fight it, go with the flow. I'm happy to be on this ride. Uh, that is a beautiful energy that I really like here. So whether it is acceptance or whether this is like an unexpected or surprising result, where it's like, okay, it didn't go exactly how I planned it, but I'm happy it went this way. So I think it's really nice the way the energy begins to flow, especially on the back end. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, Cappy. What's going on? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. Let's get it going. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the Cappies? Please. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, Seven of Wands. This can be combative in its shadow side because it is very much a me against the world, or I have to do everything when we're looking at the shadow side. Now, in the good sense, when I see this as a shadow card, you might be stronger than you think you are, or you might be stronger than you give yourself credit for. You might be doing better than you think you are. You might be your own worst critic when we look at the shadow side of the Seven of Wands. But in its real shadow side, it could be someone that feels like trapped, feels cornered, feels like they're not making progress, which is the antithesis of what we saw within the main part of the reading this week. Now, it can be combative. That's the one thing I will say, especially with this as a shadow card. It can be a little aggressive. So in this time, watch out for temper, watch out for flare-ups. We do have a flare-up of energy here in the center. I don't think it's a bad thing for most of you. I feel like you have a lot more strength than you give yourself credit for when I see this card, and you're doing better than you think, which I really like. The only thing I would say is, yeah, just watch the flare-ups, the intensity, because it's like, oh, I'm getting angry about this. The energy feels like it will flow how it needs to flow. There's no need to force anything. So watch out for feeling like pressured or you have to force things when we see the shadow of this. So we're just going to place that Seven of Wands down right there, my beautiful Capricorn friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My digital calendar's over there, so you could go check out availability. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. It's beautiful, it's unique, and it definitely fits the season. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, for all the uses that tarot has to offer, which do you think is best? Do you like using it for love situations, personal, financial, business, you name it? You put it in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.